Later by Stephen King is the third book of his in the hard crime case imprint. If you're unfamiliar, hard case crime is like a group that does promotes old and new hard-boiled crime thriller noir stories, books, and things like that. And they asked Stephen King to do a blurb, and he said, "Hey, how about I do a whole book?" So he wrote the book The Colorado Kid and then Joyland, and they're not interconnected. And this is the third one called Later. I didn't really know anything about this book. I went into it completely blind, and I'm glad I did, because this book is about Jamie. We're first person perspective. We're talking. He's like 4 or 5 when he discovers that he can talk to the dead, but not like the kid from The Sixth Sense. Its rules are a little bit different. Really great prose. It feels like a classic Stephen King novel. I really was absorbed by it. It's really great usage of first person. A lot of fleshed out characters, though. I really enjoyed this book for the most part. When I say for the most part, is because I felt the ending was a little bit lacking, because the book is pretty short. It's only like 250, 60 pages. They probably could have used a little bit more story at the end there. But basically, Jamie discovers that he has these powers, and he obviously doesn't want to keep it to himself. But being a precocious child, he mentions it to his mom. She, is weirded out, but she tells him not to tell anyone. However, as he gets older, this is also a coming-of-age story. So there are different moments of his life where he gets older, and his mom requires him to use the powers for whatever reason. And there are other characters who wish to exploit Jamie as well. So this book has a great, strong narrative voice, really nice developed characters. It feels like a classic Stephen King novel. The only thing that I didn't like was that, the ending was a little bit underwhelming. They introduce something and then it just sort of ends. They could have at least left us a little bit more to, kind of give us what would happen to Jamie going forward, because they sort of just end it and they don't really leave off to what he would do in the future. Doesn't feel like they would do that. I mean, like a hard-boiled crime novel usually doesn't just end abruptly as soon as the case is done. Sometimes they lean on to more things going on in the future. So I felt this one left me a little bit weak in the at the end there. It was definitely good for the most part. It was a really great read. I was really absorbed by everything. And they introduced some mythos from other books too, so it's a little interconnected with some of his other stuff. But overall, very strong read from Stephen King. I didn't really like his last one with powers. It was The Institute. That one was kind of underwhelming. But this one was really strong. So I give Later by Stephen King a 4 out of 5.